Welcome to the safest place on the planet this evening. Welcome to the meeting of the Skokie Village Board for Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. This evening, we will be led off in the Pledge of Allegiance by our village clerk, Minal Desai.
Please rise for the pledge.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The meeting will come to order, and our clerk will please call the roll.
Trustee Sutker?
Here.
Trustee Robinson?
Here.
Trustee Kuhn?
Here.
Trustee Johnson?
Here.
Trustee Pure-Slovan? Trustee Klein? Here. Mayor Van Dusen?
Aye, we have a quorum. Excuse me, there was no motion. Next item on the agenda is approval of the consent agenda for this evening's meeting. A motion is in order. Trustee Kuhn, seconded by Trustee Sutker. Is there anything on the consent agenda anybody would like to have removed? If not, call the roll, please.
Trustee Sutker?
Aye.
Trustee Robinson?
Aye.
Trustee Kuhn?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Klein? Aye. Mayor Van Dusen?
Aye, the motion passes. It's an honor and a privilege this evening to honor a long-time village business, Skokie Millwork. Whereas Skokie Millwork, a family-owned and operated business established in Skokie in 1949 by Gilbert Gross, is celebrating its 75th anniversary. And whereas Skokie Millworks was originally founded in Gilbert Gross's garage and then relocated in 1952 to its current location at 8108 Lawndale Avenue. Whereas his brothers, Bud, Herman Gross, and Milton Gross, joined him to help develop this enduring family enterprise. And whereas in the 1980s, the second generation joined with Gilbert's sons, Paul and Jim, along with Bud's daughters, Joni and Debbie. And whereas over time, Paul and Jim took over the business, taking the company to new heights. Whereas with great pride, Paul's children, Amelia and Joshua, are now the third generation of this ever-growing Skokie Millwork family, dedicated to preserving the legacy started by their grandfather 75 years ago, continuing to prioritize excellent millwork while aiming for growth and success in the future. Now, therefore, I, George Van Dusen, Mayor of the Village of Skokie, do by here proclaim January 21st, 2025 as Skokie Millwork's 75th Anniversary Celebration Day in the Village of Skokie, and do hereby congratulate Skokie Millworks for their commitment to their business and to our Skokie community. We wish Skokie Millworks much continued success. And I'd like to invite Paul and Dana Gross to the podium to accept the proclamation and perhaps share a few words. Congratulations. Thank you. It's a pleasure. The next item on our agenda is also a great honor. It's my pleasure to introduce the chairman of the village's Board of Fire and Police. The chairman, Will Evans Jr., will swear in 5 new firefighters and 2 new police officers. But before Will begins, I would like to introduce our fire chief, Hofleck, and our police chief is in the back as well, Chief Barnes. And if I may, I would like to take just a moment of reflection. Yesterday, we welcomed into the village's firefighting fleet a new rig, and it was a very moving ceremony. We had both police and fire in attendance. Our chief was the master of ceremonies and did a wonderful welcoming job. What was particularly moving is the ceremony was dedicated in the new rig in honor of firefighter Andy Cutting, who passed away a couple years ago from cancer. And his wife graced our presence, Carla. The importance of the ceremony was that we dedicated the rig in honor of Andy. But also it was the reflection of what a wonderful community this is. The turnout for the dedication was wonderful, standing room only. And I think it goes to show what our police and our fire officers go through in protecting each and every one of us every day. And so it's a great pleasure to introduce Will Evans, who will do the honors this evening. Will?
Thank you, Mayor, and trustees, and folks the chief. I have a long evening, so I'm going to kind of keep my remarks in the beginning short because I've got 7 swearing-ins to do. But this is the Skokie. I have 3 of my fellow commissioners. If you want to stand up a little bit, stand up and acknowledge me. Go ahead, stand up, stand up, stand up. But you know, this is our favorite part, the swearing in, and we take a lot of time to go review resumes and files and policies, but it is a pleasure. We volunteer to do this and spend a lot of time because the men and women of our police force and our fire force are core to the quality of life that we have in our village here. They keep us safe. When there's a fire or some incident happens, they're the ones that are running there, or the rest of us are trying to get away. And I really acknowledge that and acknowledge the work you do. So with that, I'm going to start here in my first contestant, Cody Carpenter. I'm going to do all for the families that are here. I'm doing all the fire first, and then I'm going to do the police part. So Cody, you can follow along right here.
Thank you, sir.
So raise your right hand, and I, Carpenter,
I, Cody Carpenter,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
the state of Illinois,
the state of Illinois,
the ordinances of the village of Skokie,
the ordinances of the village of Skokie,
and the rules and regulations of the fire department,
and the rules and regulations of the fire department,
and the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
and the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of firefighters to the best of my ability.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of a firefighter to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Okay, Cody, would you introduce your family and friends to us?
Yes, sir. I'm here with my mother and father, Patty and Lee Carpenter. Mike. As well as my aunt and uncle, Judy and Mike, and then some of my friends here, Matt, Jennifer, Stephen, and Megan.
Welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Zane McCartney, come on down. Here, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and repeat your name.
I, Zane McCartney,
Do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
the state of Illinois,
the state of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Skokie,
the ordinances of the Village of Skokie,
and the rules and regulations of the Fire Department,
and the rules and regulations of the Fire Department,
and the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
and the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of firefighter to the best of my ability.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of a firefighter to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
And Zane, would you introduce your family and friends?
Yes, sir. I'm here with my wonderful wife, Monica, and several friends from my paramedic program, Ben, Alec, Daphne, Andrew, and Joey.
Welcome.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, in your name,
I, Jared Knightley,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
the state of Illinois,
the state of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Skokie,
the ordinance of the Village of Skokie,
the rules and regulations of the Fire Department,
and the rules and regulation of the Fire Department,
and the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
and the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of a firefighter to the best of my ability.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of a firefighter to the best of my ability.
And Jared, would you do the honors, please?
Yes, sir.
Introduce your family and friends.
With my beautiful fiance Cindy, my oldest brother Kyle, and my parents Patty and John Knightley.
Jack Conway. Here, raise your right hand, repeat after me.
I, Jack Conway,
Do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
the state of Illinois,
the state of Illinois,
the ordinances of the Village of Skokie,
the ordinances of the Village of Skokie,
the rules and regulations of the Fire Department,
the rules and regulations of the Fire Department,
and the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
and the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of a firefighter to the best of my ability.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of a firefighter to the best of my ability.
And Jack, would you introduce to us your family and friends?
So I'm here with my parents, Mike and Diane, my older brother Mike, and start all my aunts,
If I may ask, which force are you with? Oh, congratulations, welcome. Great to have you. Fire department? Police department. Welcome. It's great to have you.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me.
I, Nicholas Russo,
Do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
the state of Illinois,
the state of Illinois,
the ordinances of the village of Skokie,
the ordinances of the village of Skokie,
and the rules and regulations of the fire department,
and the rules and regulations of the fire department,
and the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
and the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of a firefighter to the best of my ability.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of a firefighter to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
And I see that we have another officer in blue with us this evening.
Jared's father.
May I ask, which municipality?
Yes, I'm John Ellie, Jared's father. I'm a battalion chief in the city of Chicago.
Oh, terrific. Welcome. Nicholas, guess what? Would you?
So here with me tonight are my cousin Robert, my mother Susan, my aunt Carol, my beautiful wife Eastwood, my daughter Bella, my son Ethan, and my father John.
Welcome.
We're gonna switch here to police now. So I might mess this up a little bit. Yusef Abdel Howard, yep, okay. Follow along. Raise your hand and repeat after me.
I, Yusuf Abdelkawi,
Do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
the state of Illinois,
the state of Illinois,
the ordinances of the village of Skokie,
the ordinances of the village of Skokie,
and the rules and regulations of the police department,
and the rules and regulations of the police department,
and the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
and the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of a police officer to the best of my ability.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of a police officer to the best of my ability.
Okay, and Joseph, would you introduce your family and friends?
I just have my beautiful wife, Mona. She sits over there.
Welcome.
And last but not least, Daniel Knight. Follow along here, raise your hand and repeat after me. I
I, Daniel Knight,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
the state of Illinois,
the state of Illinois,
the ordinances of the village of Skokie,
the ordinances of the village of Skokie,
and the rules and regulations of the police department,
and the rules and regulations of the police department,
and the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
and the Board of
the
Fire
Sko-
and Police, the Skokie Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of a police officer to the best of my ability.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of a police officer to the best of my ability.
And Daniel, guess what?
I have here my sister Jessica, my brother-in-law Adrian, and then I have a couple friends, Marco and Alina.
This really is a great evening for the village of Skokie. You have become members of two of the great forces in the United States, and I say that with pride, and I say it because it happens to be true. Both departments, police and fire, are nationally accredited and are honored throughout the country as being among the very finest. But for me, what the real badge of honor, if you'll excuse a bad pun, is that it's what the residents of the village of Skokie think. And our residents uniformly honor and respect our police and our fire. As the chairman put it in the beginning, in his introduction, you're the ones who run toward danger while the rest of us flee danger. And for that, we're grateful every single day, every day of the week, for what you do. And we have two guests this evening who serve their communities likewise, and we take pride in their work as well. So congratulations. It's an honor to have you, and we expect we will see you back here at Village Hall for various social occasions, promotions, and things of that sort. So congratulations. We're honored to have you, and we salute you. And we will take a short break, but I would like to take a moment to introduce and welcome Michael Calder, who has been approved by the village board under the consent agenda as the newest member of our Telecommunications and Technology Commission. Michael, would you? Our commissions are part of the three parts that help govern the village of Skokie. We have our professional staff, our elected officials, and our boards and commissions. The boards and commissions provide a vital function. As you saw this evening, our Board of Fire and Police Commissioners put in hours and hours interviewing candidates for police and fire. They spend a lot of time doing interviews, and of course the results we see this evening. But our other commissions do hard work as well, and we're grateful to them for their advice, the generosity of spirit that they give to us, and we thank them for everything they do. They make a vital contribution to the village. So let's take a short recess so we can congratulate our new firefighters and our new police officers.
was like the place before she went to that. They were just like a block north of Roosevelt and Park Boulevard. I think that was like her first condo in or like townhouse. They looked like barns, like these black. It was black roofs.
Oh, they're not black anymore, but
That was yeah. She passed away a few years ago.
The next item on the agenda is report of our village manager, John Lockerbie.
Thank you, Mayor and trustees. Good evening, everyone. Item A is regarding the container swap compost services for village drop-off sites and subscription accounts. Food scrap composting continues to expand within the village. Since its inception in 2020, with 76 subscribers and 14 tons of composted food scraps, the village's compost collection program has grown significantly, now serving 343 customers and hosting 12 free community drop-off sites with over 280 tons projected to be composted this fiscal year. This success has garnered regional recognition, with village staff serving as a resource to Cook County, neighboring cities and villages, and even the city of Chicago. And when I say staff, I should say Max Lankert and Liz Zimmerman. They're the resident experts in our Public Works Department. We appreciate their expertise and dedication to the success of the composting within the village. The recent request for proposals, or RFP process, resulted in competitive pricing and expanded container options, notably benefiting commercial accounts or businesses. These developments support the Skokie Environmental Sustainability Plan goals, specifically increasing residential participation in composting by 5% annually, as well as expanding composting options for both residents and businesses. Waste Not Incorporated's introduction of larger containers, such as a 64-gallon toters and 7-yard rodent-proof dumpsters, will enhance space efficiency at drop-off sites and offer new solutions for business customers. Both Waste Not Incorporated and Collective Resource Compost Cooperative will maintain flexible service options, including bi-weekly collections, to meet the diverse needs. I concur with staff's recommendation and respectfully request Mayor and Board approval of the contracts to Waste Not for both village drop-off sites and subscription accounts, as well as Collective Resources for subscription accounts only.
A motion on container swap compost services for the village of Skokie, as recommended by the manager, would be in order. Trustee Johnson, seconded by Trustee Klein. Are there any comments or any questions? Trustee Robinson.
You know, I was going to ask you the question.
Our resident experts are approaching the podium.
Yes. That's good planning. I just, I appreciate the work, excited about what's going on, and just wanted to know from the local experts, what's coming up? What are you excited about at this part of the work that we've been doing? And what do you see as the any challenging things looming ahead?
Yeah. Well, first, Collective Resources here, I do want to thank them. This program would be not happening without our vendors and our partners and village participation. So, to date, we're very grateful for their, for all they've done to start their business and to help us out. Next steps is I am excited to get more into multifamily housing, condos. I've reached out to Woods Drive to see if they'd be interested in having a drop off there. Challenges, the biggest challenge that I see with the program as we grow is maintaining strong education and keeping contamination out of the compost. When there's contamination in recycling, it goes to a MRF. It's all automated, it gets sorted out, and I'm sure Collective Resource could tell stories of picking out contamination and waste net as well. From food scraps, it's a much different scenario. So it's very important to maintain high quality compost and for everybody to stay within the rules and not to put anything in the compost that shouldn't be in there. And so I think those are the next steps for us.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, it never ceases to amaze me. Ordinarily, Sunday mornings, I go over to Devonshire to drop off my little composting. And invariably, there are one or two people either coming or going. And each one of the bins, I think there's 6 or 7 of the toters over there now. And yesterday, when I went over, 3 of the toters were completely filled. And of the other 3/4 of them were filled. And then I drove into the office, and I was walking into the building, and sure enough, there was somebody. This is 7 o'clock in the morning. Somebody was at one of our toters here at the foot of Village Hall. I think this is one of those cases where residents were ahead of the rest of us and were ready to do this kind of thing. And I just want to congratulate Max and Liz, Collective Resources, thank you for everything that you've done. You've truly been the visionaries in this, and thank you for everything that you've done. We appreciate it very much. Trustee Kuhn.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'd like to provide personal testimony since Collective Composting is here. We started composting in the middle of the pandemic and signed up for the subscription service. Of course, like many households, I, as the wife, made the decision and registered for the subscription, and I got unsolicited feedback from my husband, who had no idea that all he did was follow the directions. We printed the flyer from the village about what are the things that you can compost and what you can't compost, and it's laminated, and we put it by the garbage and compost bin, and so the kids know what should be composted and what should be recycled and such. And the immediate feedback from him was, our garbage doesn't smell anymore. We have less garbage. And I love the communication that we get from your service as well in terms of when the pickup is and when there's changes, and the service delivery and pickup itself has been really outstanding. So I just want to acknowledge you for that and thank you.
Call the roll, please.
Trustee Sudker? Aye. Trustee Robinson?
Aye.
Trustee Kuhn?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Pierce Lovan is absent. Trustee Klein?
Aye.
Mayor Van Dusen?
Aye, the motion passes.
Item B was approved under tonight's consent agenda, and that completes my report this evening.
Thank you. Next item is report of our Corporation Counsel, Michael Lorge.
Thank you, Mayor, trustees. Good evening, everyone. Item A is a resolution which is on the agenda for first reading and adoption tonight. This resolution, consistent with village procedure and state statute, will address the approval, release, or confidentiality of executive session minutes. Additionally, it will retain the confidentiality of previously reviewed executive session minutes. With regard to verbatim recordings, the statutory trigger date for the destruction of verbatim recordings has not occurred as yet for the executive sessions listed in Exhibits 1 and Exhibits 2, and the executive sessions listed in Exhibit 3, while eligible by date, are not recommended to be destroyed at this time. Mayor, I would request board action on this resolution tonight.
A motion on the resolution regarding the approval and release of executive session minutes is in order. Trustee Johnson, seconded by Trustee Kuhn. Are there any comments or questions? If not, call the roll, please.
Trustee Sudker? Aye. Trustee Robinson?
Aye.
Trustee Kuhn?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Pierce Lovan is absent. Trustee Klein?
Aye.
Mayor Van Dusen?
Aye, the motion passes.
Mayor, I also request tonight, I have a request for an executive session in accordance with paragraph 2C11 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act pertaining to the review and discussion of pending litigation. Mayor, I'd ask for board action on this.
A motion on the Corporation Council's request for an executive session would be in order. Trustee Sucker, seconded by Trustee Robinson. Call the roll, please.
Trustee Sudker? Aye. Trustee Robinson?
Aye.
Trustee Kuhn?
Aye.
Trustee Johnson?
Aye.
Trustee Klein?
Aye.
Mayor Van Dusen?
Aye, the motion passes.
That would conclude my report for this evening.
Thank you.
Just really quickly under unfinished business, I wanted to ask about our term limits ordinance. I just wanted to ask if we could set a firm date for when we're going to review the term limits ordinance that we're required to do in the next 2 months.
I think, go ahead.
Our target is to bring it to the first meeting in February. Drafting's not complete, so I would say that if it's not the first meeting, it would be the second meeting in February.
Awesome,
But
thank you.
that's our target.
Perfect.
Is there anybody who wishes to address the village board? Okay, just 1 second. Let Jim, if you'd like to approach, ma'am, if you'd like to approach the microphone, you can go next.
Good evening. Testing. Yes, good evening. My name is Richard Ivanitz, and I reside in the village at 7420 Kenneth Avenue. In the winter 2024 edition of the Skokie newsletter, Mayor Van Dusen announced that he would not seek another term as mayor of the village of Skokie. It made me recall the time that I first moved to the village back in '98. Just within a year of that time, Trustee Van Dusen was appointed mayor by his colleagues, assuring a transition to an experienced municipal elected official. And what an extraordinary quarter century this village has had under his leadership. Stable, mature municipal government that acted for the betterment of the village and its citizens, contributing to this great village we all know and love. For me personally, I will forever be grateful for the wisdom and insights he shared with me during my time as a public servant in the village and the township. In fact, the best way that I can share how I feel is to quote from a song from the musical Wicked. Because I knew you, I have been changed for good. Thank you, Mayor Van Duzen, for your exemplary service to our great village. Thank you all.
I assure you that was unsolicited, but thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
I just have a quick question.
If you approach the microphone, give us your name, please.
My name is Dina Cooper, and the question is, there is a piece of land that is not being used at the moment. It's Shawnee Park. I don't know if you know. It's just east of Crawford and north of Maine. And the proposal is, and I came up with it, and others seem to think it's a great idea. I don't know what you think, but to put a structure that would be like a little library, but sort of a little building, if you guys want to consider that.
Okay, I'm not familiar with the property. John, are you?
Yeah,
I know the-
Lee Street? East Prairie and Lee.
it's Lee and, what's the other one? Just west of East here.
Ridgeway. Lee and Ridgeway.
Yeah, Ridgeway, right.
Yeah, we
Let
can
us
take a look.
Take a look at it.
Should I put it in writing, or how do you?
If, after the meeting, do you have your business?
I do.
card? John will give you his business card, and if you could send him an email describing what you're talking about, let us look into it. Thank you.
Can I ask a question about that? I'm just wondering, are you trying to add a little library there? Or are you trying to use, because we have one in Evanston that's kind of like a sharing thing, but it's a refrigerator and a pantry, and it's for food.
No, I'm thinking of a small building, not just a stand.
But a library.
Mhm.
Okay, that's what I was
It's
wondering.
about 2 miles east of here.
Great, thank you.
And a lot of kids live in the area, and they said, everybody's saying, oh, it'd be great if there was something like that. And, okay, maybe.
Yeah, I think I know, I have an idea of what I think you're talking about.
It's right by the playground and a
Mhm.
basketball, thing.
And I think I know the playground. Thank you. We will look into it. Appreciate it. Okay. Yes.
Or does someone else have a public comment?
No?
I'll speak from the dais. From the public podium, excuse me. Alright. Good evening, Mayor and trustees. So for the 28th meeting in a row, I'm still speaking in protest of the board's political hiring and corruption involving attorneys in Skokie's legal department. At our last meeting, I spoke about a really important moment in the history of this problem. I spoke about what happened in 2002 when the mayor deviated from the norm and decided to nominate a new league corporation counsel who was not a leader of the ruling Skokie Caucus Party. And sadly, there was a tremendous backlash from local elected officials who wanted to keep the board's unethical hiring practices. They wanted to ensure that local political parties would maintain control over appointments in our public legal department. as has been the norm for decades. Tonight, I want to share some info about how you, Mayor, responded publicly to this pushback. At the time, this really could have been a moment to depoliticize the legal department. But instead, you responded by saying that the pushback was just a misunderstanding and that your nomination for Corporation Counsel was thoroughly politicized. In the Tribune coverage of what happened, you stressed that your nominee did have the support of the ruling caucus party's political action committee. You stressed that both of the prior lead corporation councils had supported your nomination and that both were former chairs of the party, and you encouraged your new corporation council to become involved in village politics. And so in response to the criticism that the appointment process was not sufficiently politicized, it was argued that it absolutely was. Trustees, I'm talking, this is from 20 years ago, but I'm talking about this incident in this Tribune article to really demonstrate how insincere it is for the board to pretend that its appointment process for village attorneys is or has ever been nonpartisan. All of you are very aware of how the village board has politicized and corrupted Skokie's legal department. And that's why I keep bringing this up, because I sincerely believe that this remains the most severe systemic problem within our village government. So I'm hoping we continue to advocate that you act to reform this department. Thank you.
The Tribune article and the comment by the trustee is very misleading. I nominated Pat Handley based on his experience and what I thought he would bring to the village of Skokie. And it's true, I did. I told Pat, if he wishes, he's not restricted from participating in local politics, as is anybody. We all have a right. And it was not a matter of caucus party hiring. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at the vote, you will see that it was a split vote. Don Perrill and Frank McCabe both voted in favor of Pat Handley. They both were charter members of the Skokie Caucus Party. Randy Roberts and I, both members of the Niles Township Democratic Organization, as well as the Skokie Caucus Party. We voted in favor of Pat. Those who opposed were Michael Gelder, a former chairman of the Board of Health under my predecessor, and he also was a longtime village trustee, and like Randy and myself, a member of the Niles Township Democratic Organization and a member of the Skokie Caucus Party. Michelle Brownberg was a member of the Skokie Caucus Party and the Niles Township Democratic Organization. Harry Piper was a member of the Caucus Party. They voted in the negative. I think what that vote showed is that we all vote to better the village of Skokie. It is not a question of if somebody is hired, can they or can they not participate in politics? Politics is a constitutional right, and it's when we don't participate that we have trouble in this country. And it's important that we always bear that in mind. Harry, Michelle, and Michael were very good members of this board. We all have honored them over the years for their service. Frank McCabe and Don Perrill likewise served honorably on this board. Frank was the longest-serving trustee in the history of the village of Skokie. Don Perrill was chairman of the Plan Commission for close to 20 years before becoming a member. And of course, Randy Roberts, we all know, served 2 decades on the village board. There is no question about the integrity of members of the village board, just as everybody here who shares this board with me this evening are also men and women of great integrity. And I might also point out that my friend of many, many years, Cal Sucker, disagreed with my choice, and he made it clear. The Tribune points out that he was chairman of the Township Caucus Party. That was not the same as the Skokie Caucus Party. Now, Calvin was one of the most astute and knowledgeable politicians I've ever known. He could also be a very clever politician. And there was a reason why he was chairman of the Township Caucus Party, not the Skokie Caucus Party. And so the article goes on to say several other things. And I think the important thing is that we are always open to bringing in people who live in the village of Skokie, regardless of whether they are members of any political party or any political persuasion. That is one of the things that has made this a very strong and viable community. So I think the trustee is misleading in the position that he has taken. And Pat Hanley's hiring was anything but political in nature. And I think everybody, even those who opposed him, particularly Calvin, became very admiring and good friends with Pat Hanley and recognized his contribution to the village and to the many things that we are very proud of today. So we need to go into executive session. Trustee Sucker.
I just wanted to make a comment. I want to acknowledge the grief and loss occurring in the Los Angeles area. I hope your families and friends living in the Los Angeles area are safe. I encourage folks to reach out to their loved ones and remind them there are resources available. And please remember the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is also available. I think it's important that we take a moment to acknowledge what's happening in that area. And with that, I say we adjourn for an executive session.
Thank you.